According to Frans Cronje's Social Research Foundation's latest poll, the vast majority of black people in Johannesburg would prefer no access to water rather than having the Helen Zille as their mayor. Despite more than 8 out of every 10 black voters in Johannesburg now believing the DA would govern the city better than the ANC, and even in the midst of the greatest water crisis in the city's history, a crisis that is solely attributed to the ANC's incompetence and mismanagement, less than a quarter of black Joburg voters say they would actually consider voting for the DA over the ANC in this upcoming election. Earlier this week, it was reported by local South African news and analyst platform The Common Sense, which is also an affiliate of the Social Research Foundation, that no less than 84% of Johannesburg's residents believe that the Democratic Alliance will do a better job governing the city than the ANC. This finding in and of itself is perhaps not surprising, especially at a time where the city of Johannesburg is struggling with even the most basic service delivery issues, such as water provision, and basically anyone with a grain of competence to do the bare minimum would be better than the ANC. And as Johannesburg's taps run dry for the weeks on weeks, people will increasingly get agitated and demand change within the city. But what is most shocking is that while 84% of Joburgers openly say they believe the DA will do a better job governing the city than the current ANC government, only 39% of these participants in the very same poll claim that they would actually consider voting for the DA above the ANC. But why this paradox? Stay tuned, because in today's video we are going to highlight the uncomfortable truth of voter demographics in modern day South Africa, something that everyone needs to understand, because we all, or not all of us, but most of us live in this fantasy world where we believe in non-racialism here in South Africa, where in fact that is very, very, very far from the truth. Very few are willing to acknowledge this. For many years, the ruling party in this country, the largest party in 8 of the 9 provinces, has been the ANC. The only one long-standing exception to this rule, of course, has been the Western Cape, where the DA has been the largest party, and only very recently also KwaZulu-Natal, where Jacob Zuma's MK is now the largest party in the province. But why would these 2 provinces be the exceptions? Well, let's look at KZN. It's not like the ANC in this province is uniquely more corrupt or incompetent than in any of the other provinces. The sole explanation for why the ANC suddenly dropped from 55% of the vote in KwaZulu-Natal in 2019 to just 17% in 2024, a loss of nearly 70% of their votes in a matter of just 5 years, is because of Zulu ethnopolitics. The Zulu people of Natal have consolidated their vote and their support behind Jacob Zuma, who of course was the first member of this tribe to become a South African head of state. Likewise, the sole reason that the ANC hasn't been able to win an election in the Western Cape for a very long time is that the demographics of the Western Cape are so radically different from the rest of the country. When the DA first won an outright majority in the Western Cape in 2009, the white and coloured combination still made up around 2/3 or just over 65% of the population. Well, it's very important to note here that this statistic was from 2009. Today, of course, the white and coloured population is not nearly as big in the Western Cape due to the huge influx of migrants brought about by the decade of the DA's free housing and free services for land invaders from all the rest of the provinces. But be that as it may, this compares to most other provinces in the country, where these demographic groups combined make up only around 10 to 20% in every province. The hard reality is that the Democratic Alliance, for all of its claims regarding being a non-racial party or a liberal party or the party of the Rainbow Nation or whatever, has never in its entire history got even more than 4% of the black vote in the country. The DA has never got more than 4% of black voters that go to the polls in this country actually putting their mark next to their party. This differs significantly from the other races in the country, whereas historically the DA could count on between 80 and 95% of the white votes, between 40 and 70% of the colored vote, and between 50 and 70% of the Indian vote. It has never made any inroads among black voters in this country in the history of the party. Not even under Mmusi Maimane, the first black leader or the first and only black leader of the party, could the DA achieve more than 4% of the black vote. And this reality is the key to explaining why the people of Johannesburg, even though they believed the DA would govern better than the ANC, and even though the DA placed their biggest political heavyweight as their candidate for mayor of Johannesburg in Helen Zille, today still refuse to vote for the DA. As mentioned, the latest poll by the Social Research Foundation indicates that while 84% of the people of Johannesburg believe a DA government would be better for the city, more than half of them say that they would never consider voting for the DA. Where things get really interesting is where the statistic gets broken down by race. In total, 97% of the white voters believe the DA would do a better job than the ANC, and well over 80% of white voters would consider voting for the DA. And 64% of the Indian voters believe the DA would do a better job than the ANC, and all of them would consider voting for the DA. And astonishingly, while only 43% of the colored voters in Johannesburg actually believe the DA would do a better job than the ANC, just over half of the colored voters say they would consider voting for the DA, a bigger block than the ones that said they believe the DA would do a better job. But here is where the rubber really hits the road. A full 80% of black voters, higher than the Indians or the coloreds, believe the DA would do a better job at governing the city. But only 25, that's barely a quarter, or barely even over a quarter, of the black Joburgers who actually believe in the DA's ability and policies say that they would consider voting for the DA, even though they believe that the DA would do a much better job. What this boils down to is that the polled support for the DA in the city of Johannesburg currently sits at a meager 39%, which, even if this were to translate into real votes, could end up still not being enough to keep the ANC out of government in Johannesburg and end up ruling this municipality. But it is highly unlikely that the DA would actually get that many black votes in Johannesburg in the first place, as the DA have historically polled much higher, especially among black voters in opinion polls, than what actually happens on election day. For example, ahead of the 2019 election, the Institute of Race Relations polled the ANC at 52% and the DA at 23%. When the election was held a few weeks later, the ANC ended up getting almost 58% and the DA got well under 21%. This is due to the fact that in every single election, a much higher number of black voters indicate that they would vote for the DA than actually end up voting for the party when the election day comes. This is significant when we compare this to white voters, where the DA actually end up getting more votes from white voters than white voters actually indicate that will vote for the DA during the opinion polling. All these indications are that a single similar dynamic is playing out in Johannesburg in the run-up to this year's municipal elections. And of course, that Helen Zille's DA will have a very hard time winning this year's municipal election in Johannesburg, even despite the fact that 84% of the people in the city say she will do a better job or will be a better alternative for the city. The reality, the hard reality, is that over 90% of black voters in this country have always voted for either Pan-Africanist parties such as the ANC, EFF and MK, or Zulu nationalist parties. And despite the decades-long rhetoric about non-racialism and the Rainbow Nation on the part of South African white liberals, there are absolutely no indications of this ever going to change in this country. The only reason why the DA consistently gets about 20% of the national vote, despite the fact that this country is 80% black, is because the white, colored and Indian minorities in this country are almost 1.5 times more likely to vote than black people. This means that these groups together generally make up nearly 30% of the actual votes. And specifically, white voters are around 2.3 times more likely to vote than their black counterparts, meaning that for every one white person in this country, there are about 2.3 times more votes during election day than for every one black person. And out of the 70% black vote in the electorate, in every single election, 80 to 90% have always gone to the ANC and its daughter parties such as the EFF and MK. In fact, since 1994, support for the ANC and its ideological bedfellows hasn't dropped one bit. It only split up between its different daughters, the EFF, MK party and other splinter groups. In fact, if we look at the roughly 66% the ANC used to get before it splintered in every election, and we calculate the sum of the ANC and all of its splinters today, that number stays exactly the same every single election. Ethnocentric politics is so decisive in South Africa that it might end up being the sole reason the DA is never able to win a majority in Johannesburg, even if the ANC government is unable to deliver even the most basic services such as access to water. At this stage, a tree would probably govern Johannesburg better than the ANC. Yet, the facts indicate that the ANC and its daughters will still win the majority of the votes in this city. In a recent video, we actually highlighted all the ways in which the rise of the MK party in KwaZulu-Natal at the expense of the ANC is directly tied to the Zulu nationalism that is rising in this province. Check out that full report by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now. And please do consider becoming a paying member of the Willem Petzer Group. Only with your investment are we able to produce videos such as these every single day. Just follow the easy steps on the banner. Thank you, goodbye, and God bless.